The sky did not look human that evening. It raged and twisted like something ancient, something angry. Clouds rolled in thick and black, swallowing the sun before it could set. The village of Santa Esperanza, a small coastal settlement where faith was a lifeboat and the sea a parent, fell into a frightened silence. People rushed to close windows, tie livestock, drag boats away from the shore. Inside a small wooden home at the end of the beach lived the Rivera family, a family that had only ever asked life for enough bread to share and enough strength to work. Elena and her husband Carlos had raised their children with the belief that storms came and went, but God remained. Yet, even Elena struggled to hold that belief as the wind began to scream like a warning. Elena looked at her children, 12-year-old Anna, who tried to be older than her fears, 9-year-old Gabriel, who clutched his father's hand, and 4-year-old Tomas, the smallest, who did not yet understand why everyone's voices trembled. Carlos pulled the last shutter closed and said, "This storm is different. I've never seen the sea this wild." Rain fell suddenly, hard enough to sting skin. The world outside disappeared behind a curtain of water. The roof groaned, wood bending under the sky's furious weight. Something massive crashed near the shoreline, a boat, maybe two, destroyed before anyone could save them. Elena gathered the children close as thunder split the sky. Then came the sound no family ever wants to hear, water seeping, then flooding under the doorway. Gabriel's voice cracked, "Papa, the house." "I see it," Carlos answered, forcing his voice calm. Buckets, towels, old sacks, they used everything to block the water, but the storm was stronger. The children cried. And for the first time, Elena let a tear fall where they could see it. "God," her voice trembled, "if you are here, if you can hear us, please, save my family." The wind howled. The ocean climbed. And in that terrible darkness, there was nothing left to do but pray. Hours passed, though no one in the Rivera house could tell if time was moving at all. The storm had stolen it. Anna rocked little Tomas, humming a lullaby their mother used to sing. Carlos pressed his shoulder to the shaking wall, every muscle tense, as if his body alone could hold the house upright. "Elena," he whispered, "if this house falls, we run for the hill." "And if we cannot run," she asked. "We still try." He didn't say the rest, or we don't survive at all. Suddenly, a scream from outside tore through the thunder. A neighbor yelled for help. The family froze. "Carlos, don't," Elena begged, grabbing his arm. "You'll be swept away." But Carlos pushed the door open and disappeared into the storm. Rain slammed into him like stones. Wind tried to lift him off his feet. But he moved forward, crawling at times, until he reached an old man trapped beneath the fallen branch of a palm tree. "I've got you," Carlos shouted. He pulled, pushed, and heaved until the man was free. Together they fought their way to the Rivera house, lungs burning, bodies shaking. Elena opened the door and pulled them in. The old man collapsed, coughing. "You saved him," she said to her husband, her voice breaking. Carlos only nodded, unable to speak. By dawn, the storm had finally moved north. The silence that followed was worse than the thunder before it. The village that had been full of laughter just a day before was now a graveyard of shattered wood and broken dreams. The Rivera stepped outside. What they saw made Anna hold her mother's hand tighter. Almost every boat was destroyed. Homes were crushed. The church roof was gone. And the entire food storage for the village had been washed away. Carlos walked toward the shoreline where his fishing boat had once rested. It was gone. Elena knew what that meant. No boat meant no fishing. No fishing meant no income, no food, no survival. The storm had taken more than wooden nets. It had taken their future. Anna finally spoke, voice small, "Mama, what are we going to do?" Elena knelt in front of her, pushing wet hair from her daughter's face. "We will not give up," she said. "We are still alive. As long as we breathe, hope breathes with us." But inside, Elena wondered how long hope could feed children. The village gathered at what remained of the church. The priest's voice shook with exhaustion. "My brothers and sisters, we have lost so much. But God has not abandoned us. We must stay united. We must pray for a miracle." Some nodded. Some wept. Some stared at the ground, unsure if they still believed. That night, hunger visited the Rivera house like an unwelcome guest. They shared one small piece of bread among 5 people. Elena gave her share to Tomas without hesitation. "Mama," he said softly, "why aren't you eating?" "I already did," she lied. Everyone tried to sleep, but sleep refused to come. The children tossed, stomachs twisting. Carlos stared at the ceiling. Elena waited for dawn, afraid of another day without food. Gabriel suddenly whispered, "Papa, will we die?" Carlos closed his eyes. A father should always have an answer. Tonight, he had none. Elena held all 3 children and spoke the only words she had left. "We will survive. God makes a way where we cannot see one." Outside, the sea was calm after its rage. The sky was clear, full of stars. If anyone had been listening closely, they might have heard a distant engine across the water, a sign that help was closer than the Riveras dared to imagine. But for now, they slept in each other's arms, not knowing that the miracle they prayed for had already begun to move toward them.